Guess who's back at it again? Jada, the Jezebel, Pinkette. Now, I don't want to hear any words in the comments section. Oh, who cares about these celebrities? It's not the fact that I give a shit that they're celebrities. It's a perfect example to expose the Jezebel that she is. Because you're not going to see shit like this happen too often. You're not going to see a Jezebel out there to the public too often at all. That's the devil's kingdom we're talking about. The Jezebel. You're not going to see it out there in public too often. Now, what I'm about to explain, the fact that I said Jada is back at it again, she's trying to turn this completely around at the moment on Will Smith. And if you look closely to the video, you will see the shift in Will Smith. You will see the shift in Will Smith. He went from being okay with what happened to looking at her to completely changing. I would almost guarantee there was a spiritual conversation they had like, Will, you better go up there right now and hit this man because that's what I want to do, so I want you to do this for me. So, Will Smith gets up and he does just that. Smacks the shit out of Chris Rock because of that Jezebel. And you guys can say, oh, like I said, you guys can say, oh, he's a man, he can make his own decisions. I get it. I get it. It is his fault. But the spiritual side of things, it's really her fault. Without her, that don't exist. Without Jada, Will Smith probably never embarrasses himself publicly like he has been. Because of the Jezebel. That's why we're here exposing the Jezebel. It has nothing to do with the celebrity talk. I never do that shit. Unless I gotta make a point or use someone as an example. You'll rarely ever see me do this. But she's back at it again. Trying to look like a hero. If you guys see what she's saying, she's publicly embarrassing Will Smith, saying, yeah, you took this too far and all that stuff, acting like she wouldn't have done that. She wanted to smack Chris Rock. But she used Will Smith spiritually so he could get up and do that for her. And what did she do at the moment? She smiled. She loved the fact that he did that. And now that she knows everybody's making a fool out of Will Smith, she sees how embarrassed everybody is of this situation, which probably embarrasses her as well, because that is her husband. Damn it, that's her husband. She's definitely embarrassed of the whole situation as well. But she is the lead one behind all this, and she's flipping the script on Will Smith, making it look like none of it was her fault. Oh, honey, you shouldn't have done that. You took it too far, bitch. Shut your mouth. You took it too far. He was perfectly fine with what happened, with what was said. You had to get in your evil little way. You had to get in your evil little mind to control his, like the Jezebel you are. And I don't want to put the full blame on her, but it's more her than him. And a lot of you guys ain't going to agree. Just like a lot of you guys don't understand spiritual warfare. You're the same idiots that don't get these things. She used him. She used witchcraft on Will Smith. Believe it or not, he was perfectly fine with the situation. She is ruining that man. She is ruining him. She's already ruined him. It's only getting worse. She's only the reason why he's only getting more embarrassed as time goes on. And looking more like a cuck as time goes on. Because of her. And he's just so far gone that there's no going back. What he did was utterly stupid. Just dumb. He should have had the nerve not to do that. I agree. But for those of you that don't fully understand where I'm coming from, because a lot of you do, I've already made 2 videos on this. I had to do it one more time. Again. Because of what else she is continuing to do. She's evil. She's trying to make it... Because he has such a bad rep right now that it's also making her look bad. And people know people are saying bad things about her as well. Rightfully so. She's a fucking Jezebel. Of course. She knows what's going on. She's trying to come out of this looking like a hero. Trying to correct her husband as if he was in the wrong. When she's the one that did this spiritual shit the entire time. But there's no evidence. There's evidence of Will Smith getting up and smacking Chris Rock. There's no evidence of her doing anything. But if you look close, and if you know anything spiritually, you know for a fact what just happened in that situation. Will Smith did not give a shit. He laughed at the joke. He was going to take it. He looks over at his wife, and he could tell what she was thinking. And she had him under mind control right there, saying, baby, get up, hit this man. The devil spoke to Will Smith at that exact moment. Believe it or not, it's what happened. And he got up, smash. And as he turned around and started walking back, you could tell that wasn't even him. Look at his face when he turned around and started walking back. He didn't even care that he did that himself. He just got up and did it recklessly. And when he sat back down with Jada again, and he started screaming, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth, and says it again pretty much. He was back under control. Under his wife, because what did he do? He sat down beside her again. And he got pissed, and he wanted to prove to her, show to her, I got you. But he didn't really care. He just wanted to impress his wife when it backfired on him. Now there's evidence of him doing what he did. There's no evidence of Jada, because everyone in the world is stupid and can't see clearly. There's people like me, there's people like you guys that will understand this. Other than that, people ain't really... There's a few and far between people that's going to really understand what I'm explaining here myself. And it's really what it is. Will Smith didn't give a shit. He didn't. You could tell. When he hit him, he didn't even care that he hit him. You can tell he didn't have to hit him. If you hit somebody that hard, man, you don't just turn away and walk away and have the facial expressions and the emotions that he had, which there was just nothing there. The further he got away from her, the less he felt like he needed to do that. But he did it, and he walked back, and as soon as he sat down beside her again, he was under her spiritual attack again. So he started lashing out again, saying things like he said, that keep my wife's name out your effing mouth, because that's what she wanted him to do for her. And I get it. He's still an idiot for doing it. He has no control. But that just goes to prove my whole point, how powerful the Jezebel spirit is. She has a Jezebel spirit. Jada the Jezebel. It's her new nickname. And I've created it. I've given it to her. Live on pay-per-view. So, it's nuts. And I honestly believe, guys, we're going to see a little more of stuff like this happening in the future, believe it or not. Because what world are we living in today? We're living in the era where a lot of things are seen around the world, worldwide. We don't see nearly as much stuff as we do today if we don't have all the tools that we have to do what we do. And I believe we will see more stuff like that. We've seen it. Remember the Travis Scott concert where people died? That was nuts. Different situation, but we will witness some crazy things. We will witness some Jezebels. For those that have been through something with a Jezebel spirit, understands this. For those that don't get it. For those at the Oscars, nobody understood that this is really Jada's idea and plan. After what that man said, she came up with that idea herself. To have spiritual attack on her husband so she could act for her, so she doesn't look like a clown, so she don't get in trouble. So he does that. And I'm not saying it's right by him. I'm not saying it's none of his fault. It definitely is. It definitely is. He should have more control than that. But it just goes to show how powerful a Jezebel spirit is. It should be more powerful than him, but it is. That's how weak he is right now. That showed a lot of weakness. Will Smith is very, very, very weak and fragile right now because of Jada. He's allowing it to happen. He's in deep. He is in deep. Real deep. And I don't know if there's any getting out of that. I don't think so. His wife is she is a devil, man. Anybody who disagrees, you just don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry to tell you that, but you have no idea what you're talking about. She really is. It's crazy what just happened. It's crazy the way she keeps doing things too. Some people's going to believe her. Some people's actually going to believe, oh, there's nothing wrong with her. She never did nothing. She just kept her cool and nothing. No, she didn't keep her cool. It looks like that on the outside. On the inside, people don't know and understand what's actually going on here. Just like when someone abuses somebody so bad that they commit suicide, there's no evidence on the outside what happened, but guess what? Some ratchet has made a man commit suicide. Nobody saw the spiritual and mental torture that some woman put some man through for him to commit suicide. For an example. But it happens. And there's no evidence. People can't see it, but the smart ones know what's going on. The smart ones know what's going on. Even anytime you see in the news, you see in places, this man beats the shit out of this woman. The first thing I think, and I'm not saying it's always true, most of the time it is, but the first thing that comes to my mind, what did she do? What did this crazy bitch do for that man to do that? And like I said, not 100% of the time is it the case. But a very, very overwhelmingly high percentage of the time, it is the case. It was some crazy ratchet female that caused a man to literally lay hands on her. And I'm not giving no one an excuse. But this is actually what happens in the world. That's why you have to be careful of spiritual stuff. It's more powerful than anything. It's so powerful simply because there's no evidence. There's no evidence of what you can do to someone else's mind and screw them over. There's no evidence. Someone can play it off like, what are they talking about? Anybody can play that off. It's not seen. And you can't even get in trouble. Now, if you texted someone over the cell phone and verbally abuse someone, they commit suicide, you can get in deep shit for that. But words back and forth, just talking in person, you can't get in trouble. You can't get in trouble for that. There's no evidence. And that's why it's so powerful. It's the things you can't see happening is what's powerful. You have evidence, it becomes almost powerless because there's evidence. Now you have the power. That's why Jada is so powerful in her position that she's in right now with Will Smith. There's no evidence that spiritually she told this man to do that, and he did it because he obeyed his ratchet wife of a Jezebel. No evidence. All you see is her just making a face and then staying kind of calm. Him seeing that, him laughing first, then him seeing that, and then getting up and smacking him. Not even caring that he did it. He wasn't overly mad when he got closer to him. He didn't even care. He was just walking up. If you're really mad at somebody, bro, you attack. He would have got up and raged right away and just attacked him. He didn't even care that he did it. He did it for his wife because his wife wanted him to. He knew that. By her signal, by the way she did what she did, he knew that. And if he didn't do that, he was getting a spanking when he got home that night. Jada was going to sleep with some other dude that night if he did not do this. That's what I'm saying here. She is the devil. She is Satan. She's the reason why he's acting out a character. He has to leave her. Anyone who disagrees, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're just against women. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about. This is the real truth. It's the real fucking truth. Go cry about it.